24 in the NDA had to be retired. Do you know what it takes to train a soldier from, an officer from second lieutenant to general? Now, let us compare to what this President Buhari has done. He told all the service chiefs, he said, I don't know any of you, or I didn't know any of you, save the Chief of Army Staff, who I just met at his command post. That's the transnational, semi-command. Meaning that it was just last month that he knew him. Do you understand me? But between last month and now, the perspicacious president that we now have was able to take a dossier to understand clearly all these people. And this head of the armed forces that he has now appointed is, of course, 25. The same corset with minima that I just left.
How do we then explain? We got what it means, but how do we then explain that over 400 people have died in a little over 30 days ever since the president came?
Let me tell you something. What you are seeing about Boko Haram is what the Englishman calls the kick of a dying horse. See,
to the extent that this amount of people have died.
Excuse me. Let me tell you something. I've often told you that I'm a project manager. In project management, we are told that the project is 85% planning. That is to say, your project time, you spend 85% of your project time doing planning.
I thought they were planning 2 months after they won the elections, before your party got sworn in.
Chamberlain,
was there no planning done at that time?
What you don't understand is that you cannot simulate, governance when you are not in government.
I get the point. So,
see,
was there no planning at that time?
There were plans.
What was the plan?
Listen to me.
Where's the result of this plan?
President Buhari, as president-elect, put together a transition committee. A transition committee that the Jonathan administration did not allow to function. In fact, as a matter of fact, the transition committee, the first thing the Jonathan administration did was to lampoon the transition committee. Oh dear. That the president was setting up a parallel government.
Mr. Fashakin, as at that time. Mr. Fashakin, the PDP says that your party keeps lamenting about what the PDP did not do and what the and you're still doing that. You keep talking about how the Jonathan administration. Right now we're 6 weeks at least, into this new administration. Listen, the question is, what is holding the legs of this government and preventing it from doing the work from moving?
Thank you very much. That's a valid question, which you and I are entitled to ask, our elected president. That's fine. What I'm telling you clearly now is that this president, is doing, putting plans together so that by the time, because look at, for the last 4 years, you will understand that our, fight against insurgency had been without, cogent intelligence at all. You will ask yourself, what was an organization like the DSS, what was it doing? Rather than we getting intelligence reports about the movement of Boko Haram, it was Boko Haram getting intelligence about our troops' movement. So that has been the problem.
With disappointments now, this problem will no longer exist.
You look at our president has even gone something lower than the normal, than even just appointing the service chiefs. He has even gone to appoint the defense intelligence chief. You don't understand what that means?
Yeah, it means that...
What it means is that this president is telling everyone unequivocally and with unmistakable candor that he is...
Some of the images we see now of those he has appointed,
yes,
we then expect that there will be no more dearth of intelligence, that there will be intelligence distributed across the country to the top, to the extent that all of this
of course,
Boko Haram insurgency will come to an end?
Let me tell you, you know, Boko Haram is coming to an end, to a dead end pretty soon. And I can say that with every ounce of confidence that I can muster.
What is he thinking about appointment of ministers? Do we have to still wait till September?
You don't need to wait till September. You know, what you need to understand is that just like he had put, I mean, people expected him to just go ahead and appoint ministers like that. When the thinking is that, look, we have about almost 29 or so ministries, you know, and he had looked at it that this is, I mean, the transition committee has given him a report that has said, that put it there clearly, that this, you know, a number of ministries are too unwieldy for, you know, the kind of new policy trust we want to engender, I mean, put forth. That is, you know, reducing to the barest minimum the cost of governance. What
is the policy thrust of the government on power? Because you say they've got a policy thrust. The president spoke about it yesterday, as you highlighted. We'd like to know, what are they going to do? What's the plan?
Now you are already seeing, number one, the real improvement in which Nigerians can attest to. You know, some will say because it is because of unfinished, you know, work in progress.
Isn't it true?
That may be true to an extent, but not entirely true. The truth of the matter is that much of our policy implementation, had this human factor. You know, the typical Nigerian human factor.
What is human factor?
The human factor in the sense of, corruption that is leading in the process, you know.
Okay, are you talking about improvements in power? Is that what you're talking about?
I'm talking about improvement in power.
Okay, because
improvement in power.
There's a survey that says that, okay, yes, there is some improvement in generation, yes, which is production, but it's not hitting the homes of over 63%, I think we saw in the papers this morning. That's according to a survey that we just read this morning. So where is this improvement, per se?
You are talking about the improvement?
Yes. Do you have a report that says that there is improvements of power supply in people's homes?
I can tell you clearly, you know, I still slept with AC in my room, in my house today. And that was the same thing yesterday, you know, which was not so.
And it wasn't generator.
Which was not, and it wasn't generator. And which was not so for many, I mean, for many months before.
The question is, as a political party, you cannot be relying on your personal experience. We do not know whether you're being selectively given this power.
Because you asked me a direct question, and I needed to answer you.
So we're asking if there is candid empirical evidence that, you know, across the country there's been an improvement, aside generation, there's been an improvement in power supply to people's homes.
Of course. There is improvement, although in fact we have not even started to reel out, you know, what we are going to do